Clash Royale is making less money than Heyday right now. It's in a worse spot than Brawl Stars was last year. If you look at all these freaking deals.
It's crazy that you say that, because when you look at the shop today in Clash Royale, it is endless scrolling of offers upon offers upon offers, and yet the revenue for Clash Royale seems to be at its lowest point. So what is the issue right now? Despite all these offers, is Clash Royale apparently not making as much money as it once did?
$11 for 6 random champions that are just nerfed to the ground. You have these random wild cards. Freaking $10 for 1 level 15. And you have this weird track of, I'm not paying $7 for elite wild cards. I am not paying $20 for Book of Book. The biggest thing is that a lot of people have already played Clash Royale. Like half of the earth has probably played Clash Royale at one point or another. And most of us remember buying a season pass for years
$5.
ago. $5 gave you a book, gave you everything, and you had a free book on the free track.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that they gave us too many books.
Yeah.
And people maxed out and just ended up not having anything to do.
Yeah. I think when you look back at it, through the history of Clash Royale, in its early days, it would cost thousands of dollars to max out a single card. I still remember when a new card would come out, even if it was a common card or rare card, it was anywhere from $500 to maybe $2,000 to max out a single card. Because back then, your only option was literally just open up random chests and hoping that you get the card that you need. 90% of the chest was just cards that you didn't need. And now we have a scenario where you can max a card for $20, but it's still, Clash Royale just apparently isn't making the revenue that it used to.
I remember when you first had to max out a card, you had to open up these chests and they were just so bad value. 2,500 gems for that, and that's $25. How many chests do we have to open up? 100 of them?
Yeah.
Or no, we had to open up 20 of them. That was $500 to max out one card.
Yep.
And that was the standard. Then they spoiled us with $5 books. But I feel like once they've set that threshold, they can't go back.
Yeah, exactly.
My problem, I think they shouldn't have taken away the books. They should have added more cards, more things to use the books on.
Exactly. And that's what I think was one of the turning points in the monetization, was that when they added magic items, it was amazing. Everyone was like, this is awesome. We've been asking for this for so long. We can upgrade our cards easier. But they failed to transition in that time period to alternative monetization methods, cosmetics and skins and whatever you want in Clash Royale. They failed to transition different monetization methods, and then they went back to solely relying on upgrading cards. And that is kind of what caused some pushback from the community, was like, hey, we've been upgrading our cards for $5 for a year now, and now you want to take it away? And I think that's kind of why we see Evolution now being locked behind a paywall, is because they're trying to kind of get that back, that constant revenue stream in Clash Royale. Taking away the Book of Books I think the past Royale was the turning point for the community sentiment in the game overall. It was the tip of the iceberg in terms of what I call the 2 years of monetization changes in Clash Royale, whether it was the past Royale, the elite levels, the evolutions, and then tower troops.
I haven't opened up a chest in a long time.
Past Royale, for me, I don't even open the rewards anymore, because it's
You missed the evolution wizard. You had it, but you didn't claim it.
I know, I'm pretty bad for that, but the other issue too is the elite levels, the elite cards. So this is an interesting topic, because when you look at elite levels, you have this entire progression system in Clash Royale, an entire monetization system built around gathering cards, getting chests, getting magic items, and getting all of these different sources of progression in the game. It's built through the entire game. Then they introduce elite cards, which effectively negates all of the cards. All of your chests, all of your magic items, all of your books, they now all convert to elite cards. So when I go through my past Royale and I've got 50 tracks of rewards, it's so boring, because you open through, tap, 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 tap.
I just want to collect all button.
Yeah, exactly. Save time.
Why is a Book of Books $20 and then one elite wildcard offer is
$10?
$10. It make sense. So in that logic, why aren't we allowed to use the Book of Books to get a card to level 15?
Exactly, because a Book of Books is gives you 5,000 elite points or whatever. This conversion rate's pretty bad.
That makes even less sense. I do like this calendar, but I don't like how they value it. This might not be a correct statement, but I feel like these prices don't feel like someone that plays the game.
Look at this one right here. What was it? $7 for 3 champion cards. So 3 champion cards. You need 20, I believe, to go from level 13 to level 14 for a champion card. So $7 for 3. I think is it 20? Well, whatever it is, it doesn't. The point is the fact that for one elite level is $10, and for 3 champion cards, it's $7.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't feel good.
as I say that, you watch the Supercell be like, okay, elite cards are now $50 for each upgrade. That's not what I want. That's not what we want.
In 2016 to 2020, I bought every single offer in the shop because it made sense. But none of these make sense anymore. They are not good value. The only decent ones are if you need gold, but you don't even need gold in this day and age. It's weird how they've reworked the economy. And I think I remember Seth saying that the rarities of each card was supposed to be not power dependent.
I think it was complexity. I think they were basing the rarity of cards like...
In 2016, it was based on complexity.
Yeah.
Then in 2017, 2018, they reworked it. It's like, oh, we have too many rares. If we do too many commons, it messes up the formula of the things.
economy, yeah.
Yeah. So when you pull a chest, it's based on how many commons are in the game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. Like if you increase a common card, legendaries are harder to pull. It's weird how that works. But anyways, my point is Seth said he wanted every card to be equal. Like you could have an all common deck, you can have an all epic deck. It's fine. It like
in terms of power level.
In terms of power.
Yeah.
So why did the devs backtrack on that? And now why is a book of commons worth $5, book of rares $10, book of epic is $20, book of legendary and book of books are $20 to $40?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter, because a book will fill out your quota regardless of how many you need. So if you need 5,000 common cards, a book should still be worth the same as the 20 legendary cards because it fills it out.
In 2020, when it was introduced, every single book was valued at $5. They're valuing Book of Legendary 3-4 times more than a Book of Commons. The design's been all over the place. Royal Giant was invented as a common win condition, and then they decided that all rarities are equal in power. You could have an all legendary deck. It's not going to beat an all common deck. But now they're saying that the Book of Legendaries is worth the most, and it's just not consistent with what their messaging is. And I feel like as most people that have played for 6, 7, 8 years, they don't see a book of books worth $20. That's why no one is buying it. Like, yeah, this is a decent track, but I'm not paying $20 to unlock an overflowing crate.
Do you think if they never had the $5 book of books in like Clash Royale and then they released a $20 offer for the book of books, do you think we'd have a different conversation today? We'd be like, oh, you know, it's fine to have a book of books for $20 because we can max out a card. Like, do you think that the fact that it was $5, like that precedent was set, that now we can't really go back?
So all these books are obviously based off of the Clash of Clans design. The only flaw I see with, and it brought back Clash Royale from the dead. It peaked in when the books came out for the first few seasons, but it just doesn't translate over if you're not upgrading everything. Clash of Clans, a new town hall comes out every year. There's new walls, there's new buildings. For 18 months straight, they didn't release any new cards, any new content, but they kept giving us Book of Books. That's the fundamental issue, is that they didn't give us new content, but they kept just, oh, here's a new season, here's a new season.
They oversaturated the economy with just magic items, but there wasn't a new flow of like new cards to basically for us to use the stuff on, right?
We needed evolutions 3 years ago to use books on.
Exactly. And I think evolutions is a whole topic in of its own in terms of the economy, the progression of evolutions, how we unlock them, their power level. That's a very loaded topic in terms of, you know, evolutions just being way too strong right now and way too hard to get. That's a whole system that can probably be overhauled, in my opinion. Going back to what you said about Clash of Clans, because magic items came initially to Clash of Clans like years before. And then because they're in the same universe, the Clash universe, people were speculating like, oh, magic items in Clash Royale, that would make sense. And then we finally got magic items, and that was probably like one of the biggest turning points back in the Clash Royale like timeline in terms of popularity, was because Clash Royale was on the downhill before magic items came out. Magic items came out,
and it saved Clash Royale.
It was a massive resurgence. People say that, oh, you know, champions were what drew people back to Clash Royale.
It was the books.
It was magic items.
It let me max out my account.
It's because Clash Royale was so hard to upgrade for years. And then you came out with the magic items, and everyone that played Clash Royale before was like, hey, it's easier to upgrade. Let's go back into the game. But what they're doing now is it feels like they're making it harder with evolution. So it's like, it's almost the opposite of what they did before. And it's like, hey, we've got these powerful evolutions, but you have to buy them.
I think
isn't really a selling point.
I think that they should allow books to get you to level 15.
That they should just translate, like a book should just be 1-to-1 for an elite level.
Yeah, and if this book is $10 and it can level up to 15, I would maybe buy it. One book should not be worth 5,000.
I agree.
Common is worth 5,000. Legendary is worth 5,000. Book of book is worth 5,000.
Wait, which is funny, because if each of the books convert to 5,000 elite cards, why is a book of a certain rarity, are they valued higher? Like, is it common?
They
book?
were valued higher. I remember the Book of Commons was 10 and then the Legendary was like 30 or something.
Yeah, but they all convert to 5,000 elite wild cards. And I think this is what we mean when we say, like, the monetization, the progression over Clash Royale's history, it's just been all over the place. It's hard for people to kind of like buy into a system and value a system and have faith in an economy when it's so all over the place.
What if the books converted to 40,000 elite wildcards and then you could farm and buy one book in the season shop every season?
I mean, I don't know the actual numbers, but I definitely think the book should convert substantially more than 5,000. It just doesn't feel good. Like, as a
Buying a champion wildcard for $3 does not feel good to me.
No.
I would never.
I think there's nothing. I would say there's probably not a whole lot in the shop right now that does feel good.
There's nothing. Every time I tell everyone to use Code OJ or whatever, it's
Like,
like,
what are you gonna buy?
if you hate money, then you can buy
Yeah.
any of these with using Code OJ. The only thing I ever recommend is buying the season.
And I think that's one of the primary reasons. Like, if Clash Royale, if they're, I mean, I don't know the numbers. We from what we see online, like in terms of the revenue that's posted online, that's all third-party stats. So we don't like none of the numbers are like confirmed.
It's I would say it's like
fairly
80,
accurate.
It's like 85, 95% accurate.
I would probably reckon it's a pretty close guess, but it's obviously like it could be a lot different. But if I had to guess, just based off of my experience with Clash Royale, out of all Supercell games, I would reckon that like the people that spend money in Clash Royale, like the whales, spend the least out of all Supercell games. I would reckon that the whales in Clash of Clans spend a lot more. The whales in Brawl Stars spend a lot more.
I can easily spend $100 a month on Brawl Stars and not feel bad about it.
Exactly.
But then I'll spend $10 on Clash Royale. Like, I feel really bad. That was not worth it. At this point, I think they need to make progression on accounts easier and just give me something. I see all the cosmetics in Brawl Stars. Like, I need that one. This one's a cool skin. And I totally get for readability, you can't really have skins in Brawl or in Clash Royale because I personally don't like skins in Brawl Stars. You stop playing Brawl Stars for 2 years, you come back like, what was that monstrous
I know
thing?
I played Brawl Stars for the first time in a while, and I was like, I don't understand any of these characters. And they're like, oh, it's the same person. But I'm like, he looks different. And I think Clash Mini had a similar issue where I would play Clash Mini, but all these different characters have skins. And I don't know what these characters are.
And that's the thing. You have to understand it from an outsider perspective. If you play it every day, you're going to know what everything is. But if you're just a casual, and 90% of the player base is casual, and like, I think the whole revenue of that is like everyone that spends $5 is the one that adds up more than a whale. So it should be easier for a casual to just get in this and not be confused that there's all these crazy clown skins that you can't read.
Exactly.
And banners for cosmetics, that's not a flex. Emotes are good, but there's already like there's over 500 emotes in the game. And towers, it's like, okay, well, that's that. Star levels were kind of a flop.
Star
but
levels?
Like, you look at Brawl Stars, and I'm excited to look at the cosmetics. You look at Fortnite, and there's like all these crazy collabs. Brawl Stars did a Baby Shark collab. They did all these Line Friend collabs. I think Clash Royale just needs to explore cosmetics better, but the social feature is just so bad right now with Clan Wars 2 just flops so hard. And the clan chat is just, it's not the same as it was in 2016.
No,
I don't look at the chat like I did in 2016.
No, it's the whole social
buried.
dynamic of Clash Royale is barren. It's way different. And I think that's another reason why people aren't spending as much money, or they don't feel as good spending money in Clash Royale, because the social element of Clash Royale is desperately needing some attention, and I don't want to say ignored. It's just hasn't been addressed in years. When you don't have a strong social dynamic of, you know, a group playing a game together, you don't necessarily feel as incentivized to show off your account.
I like flexing to people.
Exactly, but there's no social dynamic to really flex on in Clash Royale.
There's the banners.
But the banners play for a second, and also, like, I think what they need is they need to have more cosmetics that are like earned to show off skill and achievements.
There's the badges.
There's the badges, yeah. Once people start having more fun in the game, then it's a bit easier to start introducing more cosmetic features and other revenue streams. Well, imagine being a returning Clash Royale player. You haven't played Clash Royale in 2 years. You open the game. There's a million pop-ups now when you don't play for a while. You log in. There's a pop-up for the Goblin Queen's Road. There's a pop-up for you get like a special offer, 7 days welcome back value. And so you get spammed by all these pop-ups. Then you go to your shop. There's a million different offers in the shop. It just feels like a different game right now.
Nobody respects any of these shop offers, and it's just,
why are these trade offers so successful in Brawl Stars, but not in Clash Royale? Because this is a pretty popular like method that gaming companies use to monetize their games, and it
So
works in Brawl Stars.
The chain offers in Brawl Stars is like there's a skin for $10, but then sometimes the chain offer is there's $10 to unlock the chain offers, and you get everything else in the
Everything
track.
else in there.
So let's say an emote is $5. I would pay $5 to instead of $3 for one champion card just to unlock some of the chain offers. Like I think that the chain offer should be cosmetics. Maybe it's a $5 limited emote. It's a $10 crazy tower skin, and then you get some of these chests. I am not paying $20 for a book of books. That's insulting to me. I've been playing this game for 8 years. A book of books will never be worth $20 to me. But I will pay $10 for a tower skin because my monkey brain says skin good.
Because you need to have all the skins in the game, right? You need to be number one.
So what do you think needs to happen for these offers to do better?
Like you mean for Clash Royale to start like obviously making more money again and for players to feel good about it? I think a couple things need to happen.
And it's not even about us caring about making more money. It's that when they make more money, that just means the game is popular. What needs to change for the game to be popular again?
I think we need a couple of things. I think first of all, we need to restore faith in the Clash Royale team. And I think the last couple of years, this heavy push towards monetization, I feel like has really hurt the community's faith in the team to deliver like consistent and good. Like I don't even know what's coming this year. Like,
there was a calendar offer for the epic cards. You got 10 goblins, 10 goblin giants, 15 goblin giants, 25 epic wild cards. That could basically get to level 12 as a free to play player. That's huge, but they've done so much damage that you look at that and it's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you don't even care anymore.
That's the community sentiment. I feel like if they spent like, instead of focusing on getting an update out that's going to improve like a short-term fix, lock in for a long-term goal. Set out a 1.5 to 2 year goal. Restore community faith, get the community feeling positive again about the game, get the community feeling good about the game. And I think once the community feels good, you get some momentum going and everyone's having fun, improve the social dynamic, then it's more open to earning revenue. I think if the game's fun, people are enjoying it, it'll naturally earn more revenue. I think right now, it's not doing it.
Yeah, they just need to spend a year, release good updates, and stop with these crazy expensive $30 million offers, 5-10x value, and then the book of books is just so expensive. They just need to focus on making a good game.
Well, when you look at Brawl Stars, for example, Brawl Stars, like it's so crazy successful right now. That didn't happen overnight. They built up to that. It was just a bunch of good updates after another, where the community just started, everyone buying into it. Like, hey, you play Brawl Stars again? It's popping off right now. But we need that feeling. We need that feeling for Clash Royale. We need Clash Royale to have a bunch of just positive updates, well-received updates in a row. And the problem is right now is we might get a good change in an update, but there's always, it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. There's always like 2 or 3 hidden like things that just, push us down again. And it's like, there's nothing to really feel good about. And we just need that 1.5 to 2 years, lock it in long-term, knock out some banger updates, get the community feeling good again.
Yeah, that's right. Just a year of good updates. I look forward to Brawl Stars when I wake up. I'm like, oh, what's new in Brawl Stars? I don't think about that in Clash Royale anymore. I do know that, oh, it's Friday, it's a challenge, and I do like the challenge, but it's not like I wake up every day and check my phone. First thing is Clash. First thing is actually Brawl now.
Yeah.
And maybe Heyday. There's so much more to talk about this, but we got to wrap it up. So
this could easily be like a multi-hour podcast.
Yeah, subscribe. We'll have more in the next 1 to 1,000 days.